recording now, you should see a red button somewhere on the top screen. Again, you will have access to this information at the end of this webinar.
Después de esta videoconferencia van a tener acceso. Ya estamos en proceso de la grabación. Si ven el puntito rojo en sus pantallas, ya se está grabando esta sesión.
Okay, and lastly, before we start the presentation, Ms. Izquierdo, again, one of our counselors, will be screening the questions. Somewhere at the bottom of this Zoom panel, there's a Q&A session. You can ask your question there. Again, we will save those, we will answer those questions at the end of the presentation, because maybe your question is going to be answered when we're done with the presentation. Again, it's the Q&A. You can drop your question at any time. We will read them in the end.
La señorita Izquierdo va a estar contestando y revisando las preguntas que tengan durante esta sesión. Si es que durante la sesión se les presenta una pregunta, pueden escribirla allí, pero si ya al final se contesta durante la sesión, entonces podemos pasarla.
Okay, and then we will begin. Give me a moment. And present. So again, this meeting is the culmination information for families of 8th grade students.
Esta junta es para los estudiantes que van a culminar del 8º grado.
Our agenda is as follows. We'll talk about culmination, what it is. We'll talk about the dress attire expectations, obviously tell you the time and date, where you should drop off your students. There's a few spots. How many guests are allowed per student, some parking information, as well as where you can meet students. And in the end, we'll have a question and answer session.
Nuestra agenda de hoy va a consistir de la culminación, vestimenta de vestir, hora y fecha, zona de donde pueden dejar a sus estudiantes, los números de invitados, el estacionamiento, donde pueden ver a sus estudiantes después de la ceremonia de culminación. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Liz. So culmination is a time to celebrate the hard work and the final year of your child as a middle school student. We know it's been a really challenging year for many of us, for many of you, and for your students. It hasn't been the regular experience, but we do recognize in culmination ceremony the hard work and how they value their education, as long as their persistence despite all the challenges of reaching their goals.
Es un momento para hacer hijos como alumnos de secundaria, aunque ha sido un año desafiante, han demostrado que valoran su educación y perseverancia en el logro de sus metas.
So some of the questions that were probably asked is, if students did not do so well grades right now, will they be able to participate in culmination ceremony? We do know that, again, because of the pandemic, we wanted to make sure that our 8th grade students have a closure here in middle school, so all students are able to participate in culmination ceremony.
A lo mejor ahorita están preguntándose si los estudiantes pueden culminar debido a la pandemia. Queremos que los estudiantes sepan de las expectativas del éxito académico para la preparación, para la prepa y para el colegio y sus carreras.
Yes, thank you so much. We wanted to make sure that as parents here at Griffith's team, we want your child to go to college and have successful careers. It is a very strong push for us to make sure that they are prepared, not just for high school, but for college. And these are our grade and behavior and attendance expectation. It says here, earn C's or higher in all courses. In high school, we want to make sure that they're getting B's and A's because it makes them very competitive. We want to make sure that they don't have no more than 2 U's. And then the reason why is because it's a reflection on their habits, how consistent they are with working or not working with the assignments as they're assigned. No more than 2 U's in cooperation. That means how well they get along with the staff, with their classmates, inside and outside of their classrooms, and obviously how much they follow, the rules of the schools, because there are rules in society that we want to make sure that they understand they follow, because there are positive and negative consequences for that leads to their overall success in college and career.
Queremos que todos los estudiantes estén preparados tanto para la prepa, para el colegio, y por eso queremos que tengan las expectativas de calificaciones ahorita en la escuela media, de obtener C o mejor en todos los cursos, obtener no más de 2 U's en hábitos de trabajo, de 2 diferentes maestros, y obtener no más de 2 U's en cooperación, también de 2 diferentes maestros, y cumplir con las pólizas del distrito con respecto a la conducta de los estudiantes.
Okay, so parents, families, this is probably the most important slide here. If the whole meeting you forget something, or if there's one information that you want to get, want to make sure if you want to take a screenshot or take a picture, but this is that slide about Culmination, and we'll go over this slowly, of course.
Que vamos a repasar esta información que es la más importante de esta videoconferencia. Si gustan tomar una foto, pueden hacerlo ahorita de las indicaciones que les vamos a dar.
Okay, so Culmination is going to happen on Thursday, June 10 at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Garfield High School.
La culminación va a ser el 10 de junio en la escuela Garfield a las 10 de la mañana.
Okay, because of this, we still have a pandemic context, but thank goodness it's getting better. But we still something that we follow the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health guidelines during this event, which means that there's still limited capacity seating. We don't want to create a super spreader event. That masks are mandatory for students and guests along with staff. We are going to practice 6 feet social distancing, both from the bleachers, where you folks, the guest seat, as well as the students where they will be seating along with staff. And this is very important. Students, not the guests, but students will need to get a negative COVID test no earlier than June 3rd, and I'll explain this in a bit.
Todavía queremos que todos sigan las pautas del Departamento de Salud Pública del Condado de Los Ángeles. Entonces, queremos que todavía se practique el distanciamiento social de 6 pies y que todavía todos usen los cubrebocas. Los estudiantes sí van a tener que tener una prueba de COVID negativa fechada después del 3 de junio.
Okay, and this is important. Again, these are something that the district sets as a policy for us. It's not something Griffith sets, but again, it's something that LAUSD sets for graduation and culmination.
Y estas son las pólizas, de nuevo, que el distrito está poniendo para que nosotros podamos seguir.
Yes. Regarding the negative COVID test, right now you can take a test both at Gage Middle School and El Sereno Middle School during regular business hours.
Se puede tomar la prueba del COVID en 2 escuelas, en Gage o el Sereno Middle School, durante las horas que están abiertas las escuelas.
And if they're not available during regular office hours, Cal State LA and ELAC also offer walk-in testing 7 days out of the week, and they're open in later hours.
También si no pueden ir a estas 2 escuelas, pueden ir a Cal State LA o a ELAC. No necesitan una cita y pueden ir como un walk-in.
Okay, and it's important to have the test on either June 3rd or after June 3rd, but not as late as June 8th or 9th, because the COVID results can come in up as late as 48 hours or 72 hours. We're going to need that negative COVID test by June 10. So again, take the test either at June 3rd, as far as perhaps June 8th, no more than 9, because of it takes time to get that negative. It might take time to get that negative COVID test result.
Sería buena idea que la prueba del COVID sí tenga la fecha antes del 3 de junio, pero si se están acercando más al día de la culminación, a no más tardar del 8 o 9 de junio, porque sí toma tiempo para que reciban los resultados.
Okay, and this is the big important one. We are gonna hold our students accountable. They must have a negative COVID test to show before June 10th. This only applies to student, but not to the guest.
Vamos a estar muy estrictos. Todos los estudiantes deben de tener su prueba negativa cuando entren el día 10 de junio a la culminación y solamente aplica para los estudiantes.
Okay, and the one thing also is all students and all guests will be temperature screened and ask symptom questions on June 10th before they get seated.
Igual a los padres de familia y a los invitados o invitados, se les va a tomar la temperatura y también se les va a hacer unas preguntas de seguridad.
And before I move on, lastly, I'll show later in the presentation what parents will need to do when they receive the negative COVID test. It has to do with what they call the daily pass. Again, I'll talk about that later in the presentation.
El señor va a estar hablando un poquito más, más adelante en esta presentación sobre cómo pueden agarrar el Daily Pass para cuando presentan los resultados negativos los estudiantes cuando toman su prueba del COVID.
Okay, and again, the reason why it's so strict is again because we're still in a pandemic context, and these are policies made by the district to follow the County Department of Public Health guidance.
De nuevo, el distrito quiere que sigamos las pautas que se les está dando del Departamento de Salud Pública y estamos siendo muy estrictos con eso.
Okay, thank you. So the next part is, if you plan to attend the culmination, you must RSVP by May 28th on the Google form here. Again, you will find this RSVP link on our school website, and I'll show it later on in this presentation.
Es muy importante que confirme su asistencia antes del 28 de mayo. Va a haber un enlace en la página de la escuela Griffith y más adelante el señor les va a indicar exactamente dónde pueden encontrar el enlace.
And at this point in time, we have 269 families who RSVP'd. So thank you if you've done that already.
Y muchas gracias a las familias que ya han reservado. Tenemos ahorita 269 familias. Muchas gracias.
Okay, so each student can invite no more than 2 guests, again, per student.
Por estudiante solamente se les va a dar 2 invitados. Solamente 2 invitados por estudiante.
We will let parents know if the guidelines ease up. Perhaps we can increase this number, but for now, we're being told by the district that it's 2 guests per student.
Por ahorita, solamente 2 invitados por estudiante, pero si más adelante nos dan permiso de darles un invitado más, se les va a dar ese informe.
Okay, and then again, there's a family meeting and you folks are here right now. So this is that meeting. And again, any updates, if we are able to raise the ticket from 2 to 3, any updates or change of venue or things like that, we will let you know and post those updates on the website and Schoology.
Y de nuevo, esta es la reunión de culminación para las familias de los estudiantes que se van a culminar. Si hay algún cambio, se les va a dar ese informe a ustedes.
Okay, I saw some raised hands. As a reminder, we're going to just present all the information here as it might answer some questions or not, but please at any time, look at the Q&A at the bottom of the screen and please type in your question. We promise you that at the end of us sharing the information that we will go over all the questions and share with you the most updated information. So no need to raise hand, just type your questions on the Q&A.
Por ahorita no es necesario que levanten la mano. Si pueden escribir sus preguntas donde dice Q y A, Q&A, pueden hacerlo ahorita.
Okay, and we will do our best to answer it for you folks.
Y vamos a hacer todo lo posible para darles la respuesta.
Okay, and remember I said that if there's one slide you want to look at, it's this one. There's a Spanish version of it here, and we will share this with you at the end of this webinar.
Si gustan, después de videoconferencia, repasar esta información, de nuevo va a estar en la página de la escuela Griffith y es la más importante de esta videoconferencia.
Okay, so again, culmination is going to happen on June 10 to June 10, Thursday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We wanted to let you know that for safety reasons, some of our families are choosing not to participate in the in-person ceremony for safety reasons. We definitely understand that. We also have a virtual culmination. It's also going to happen at 10 a.m. at the same time. That pre-recorded culmination ceremony will be posted on our school website, which has some information, very similar culmination experience as the in-person culmination.
Vamos a tener dos ceremonias, una en persona y otra virtual. Hay familias que van a escoger solamente ver la ceremonia virtual por razones de la pandemia, pero de nuevo vamos a tener dos. Va a ser una en persona y otra virtual. Las dos van a comenzar a las 10 de la mañana. Y la virtual se va a poder ver por la página de la escuela Griffith. Y ambas ceremonias van a comenzar a las 10 de la mañana.
I saw Jessica Moreno raise her hand. Ms. Moreno, if you have a question, please feel free to drop it on the Q&A. There's a Q&A session there, just type it in. And at the end of the presentation, we'll respond to it, actually all the questions that's presented there, okay? And again, just to emphasize, the virtual ceremony is a pre-recorded version. It will be loaded on our school website at exactly 10 a.m. At the same time, we are having the in-person culmination at Garfield High School because we want our class of 2021 to have the same experience, both digital or analog at the same time.
Queremos que todos los estudiantes tengan la experiencia y puedan ser parte de estas ceremonias, tanto virtual y como en persona. La virtual va a ser pregrabada y va a empezar a las 10 de la mañana, igual que la de persona. Cuando vayan en persona en la escuela Garfield va a empezar a las 10.
The dress attire, gowns are highly encouraged. Although you don't have to wear it, it is completely optional. It is $20. People are asking, what can we wear underneath the gown if we choose to wear a gown? We do share the expectation for the ladies, just wear a nice dress, or for the gentlemen, a nice suit attire. We know that for some families, picture taking to commemorate is important, so that when they take off their gown, that they have a nice suit and nice dress for picture taking with you and your family. We do encourage students not to wear high heels. Garfield High School, we are going to host it in the football field, and high heels will pretty much stick into the grass and they might have a hard time walking. We want to make sure they have a safe and of course, memorable culmination walk to their seats.
Okay. Aunque las togas no son obligatorias a comprar, sí estamos animando que se adquieran. El costo es de $20. Muchos estudiantes están preguntando qué es lo que pueden traer debajo de las togas, y estamos sugiriendo algo bonito para la ocasión. Okay. Se anima a los estudiantes a las niñas no usar tacones altos. La razón por esto es porque vamos a estar en el zacate y si están usando los tacones, ahí se les va a hundir.
Okay.
Entonces queremos que todos estén seguros.
Okay. And again, this is optional, but at this point, about 271 family members pre-ordered their gown.
Ahorita tenemos más o menos como 271 familias que ya han ordenado sus togas.
Okay. At this point in time, how you're going to get it is on June 8th and 9th, the week of culmination, from 8:30 to 5. On, again, June 8th and 9th, families can pick up their gowns, their culmination tickets, as well as if you want to order professional photos on June 8th and 9th. You don't need to pay us now, but you can pay and pick up the gowns, again, June 8th and 9th at school.
Para las personas que van a ordenar las togas o también quieren ordenar fotos, la semana de la culminación pueden llegar a la escuela entre las 8:30 a 5 para recoger la toga y también para pagar las fotos si es que desean comprarlas. I'm sorry, Mr. Estes, clarification. For the photos, do they have to pay on June 8th and 9th?
No, they will, they can actually pay an order on the day of or after graduation because they can do things online. We're just going to give them the price package so that way they know how much the professional photos cost if they want to pay for it.
Ok, disculpen, si pueden recoger la orden de la forma para ordenar sus fotos también esa semana y ya ustedes pueden escoger qué paquete desean comprar y ya después pueden pagarlo digitalmente.
So we want to talk about the map in terms of how Garfield High School is the graduate or the culmination is going to be. This will be available on the school website.
También queremos hablar cómo se va a ver la culminación. Esta slide va a estar en la página de la escuela Griffith igual.
Okay, so this is Garfield High School's map. This is Woods Street here. And on the other side is Fraser Avenue, just to give you an orientation.
Solo para darles una orientación, la calle Woods se encuentra a la mano, viendo el mapa a la mano derecha, y en la mano izquierda se encuentra la calle Fraser.
Okay, and then I just want to go over some expectations here again. Although culmination starts at 10 a.m., students line up at 9 a.m.
Aunque la ceremonia va a empezar a las 10 de la mañana, queremos que todos los estudiantes lleguen a las 9 de la mañana para empezar a formarse.
We line them up because we have to do the temperature check. We have to check if they got a negative COVID test for that day.
Se les va a tomar la temperatura y también tenemos que revisar que estén bien para entrar a la ceremonia de culminación que va a empezar a las 10 de la mañana.
Okay, and again, folks, I see some raised hands. We definitely know that there's a lot of questions that come up. Please go ahead and drop your questions because I don't want you to forget it on the Q&A. And at the end of the presentation, we will answer all of them with the most updated information.
Estamos viendo que hay muchas manos que están levantando la mano. Si pueden escribir sus preguntas, donde dice Q y A, ahí pueden escribir las preguntas.
So the students in the morning will be dropped off on the wood side. If you've had the COVID test at Garfield High School, it's around this area. This is where they'll be dropped off. And then this is where we prepare them for the staging, where we ask them the questions, temperature screen, but then get them ready for the culmination walk right here.
Los estudiantes se pueden dejar en la esquina de Woods y Escuela. Y ahí donde les está indicando el señor esta, es donde se van a estar formando los estudiantes para la culminación.
Okay. Again, they should, I want to emphasize, take the COVID test on June 3rd, all the way as far as maybe June 8th. So that way you have enough time to get that negative test results.
Si pueden, sí es muy importante que traten de que sus hijos tomen ese examen del COVID antes del 3 de junio.
Okay, and again, expectations, all attendees must wear a mask and practice 6 feet social distancing.
De nuevo, todos los invitados necesitan usar un cubrebocas y practicar el distanciamiento de 6 pies.
Okay, so once the kids are lined up here, again, you drop them off here. Because guests can't go here, so you have a choice, parents. You can go around here from Woods. You will walk around either on the north side or south side, but the guest entrance is on this side. One guest entrance here in Fraser leads for guests to sit here, and then the other entrance here will lead a guest to sit here.
Después de que dejen a sus estudiantes en la esquina de Escuela y Woods, pueden tomar pueden ya sea irse hacia el norte o sur para entrar a la entrada donde dice Guest Entrance en la calle de Fraser, donde se indica en amarillo. Va a haber 2 entradas para todos los padres de familia o invitados y podrán sentarse ya sea en una donde dice guest bleachers en la parte izquierda o derecha. Ustedes pueden decidir a cuál entrada gustan entrar.
Okay. And there'll be guest restrooms here on this side.
Los baños también van a estar disponibles para los padres de familia, donde está indicando el señor esto está con la flecha verde. Can you just point again where the question is? Okay. Ahí van a estar los baños.
So again, going back with the guests, presently, at least right now, 2 guests per students. If you have a child that's 2 years or younger, they do not count as a guest, right? Because they're gonna sit either on your lap or next to you. Very important, balloons, large flower arrangements or noisemakers are to be kept in your vehicle's home. After culmination, our staff has to clean up the areas, so we can't have them there because Garfield High School is also cleaning it up, disinfect, and set up for their own graduation that day.
De nuevo, solamente se les va a dar 2 boletos por estudiante para los invitados. Los niños de 2 años o menor no van a contar como invitados, entonces pueden entrar. Es muy importante que los globos o las flores muy grandes o también los noisemakers, los que hacen mucho ruido, se queden ya sea en casa o en sus vehículos.
Okay. This is now talking about gown, tickets, and photo order form pickup at school. As shared earlier, on June 8th and 9th, right, 2 days before the culmination at June 10th, from 8:30 to 5, you can pick up their gown, their tickets, and photo order form at Griffith STEAM Magnet Middle School. Just a reminder to RSVP, because we need to make sure we have an accurate count for culmination.
Ok, de nuevo, el 8 y el 9 de junio, entre el horario de 8:30 y 5, se pueden recoger las togas, los boletos y la forma para el orden de fotos. De nuevo, tienen que reservar para poder los estudiantes participar en la culminación de la ceremonia de culminación.
Okay. Parking. So parking, it's very, very limited at Garfield High School. If you folks have been to their football games, you pretty much park in the streets. So it's very important to arrive early. If you live in the area, make sure it's really highly recommended if you just walk to the high school so you don't have to worry about parking as much.
El estacionamiento es muy limitado. Por favor de llegar temprano a la escuela de Garfield. Si gustan y si viven cerca, también pueden caminar a la escuela si ustedes desean.
Okay. But at Griffith, excuse me, sorry. But what we're gonna do for parents, if it's early enough and space limited, we're gonna open up the lower field at Griffith at our school on that day. So if families, you wanna park there, again, it's first come, first serve, but you will still need to walk to Garfield High School.
Aunque el estacionamiento es muy limitado en las calles, de nuevo, lleguen temprano, pero también se les va a dar oportunidad a todas las familias de poder estacionarse en la escuela de Griffith en el lower field. Pero va a ser el que venga primero y agarre el estacionamiento y ya cuando se llene, pues se llenó el estacionamiento. Así es que lleguen temprano.
Okay. Well, just a little advice. So some families are already planning to Uber or do Lyft if it's easier for them. Again, it's just some families are planning to do that.
Sabemos que hay algunas familias que posiblemente van a agarrar el Uber o el Lyft. Entonces, esas son otras opciones.
So meeting place, very important. Make sure to communicate where you will meet your family after culmination. Again, you have the map. When we dismiss everyone, we want to make sure students and families can connect. And again, we want to make sure that we can leave Garfield High School in a timely manner because our staff will still be cleaning up after culmination so that Garfield can prepare for graduation.
Queremos asegurarnos que todos los estudiantes y sus familias se puedan reunir rápidamente después de la ceremonia, porque después tenemos que recoger, limpiar, sanitar para las ceremonias que siguen después de la culminación de nosotros. Así es que si pueden, por favor, comunicarse con sus estudiantes para ver en dónde se van a poder ver después de la ceremonia.
Okay. Again, we have our family meeting here, so thank you for being here. And we just wanted to share some updates that's coming up for our 8th grade students so that you're aware, and then we'll do the Q&A.
Les queremos dar lo que va a estar pasando con los estudiantes con las actividades del 8º grado.
Okay, so tomorrow we have some former high school, former Griffith students who are at Garfield High School who's going to speak to our 8th grade students in a virtual assembly.
El día de mañana los estudiantes del 8º grado tendrán una reunión virtual y tendremos a 2 panelistas que fueron nuestros estudiantes de la escuela Griffith que podrán orientar y contestar preguntas que posiblemente tengan los estudiantes del 8º grado sobre la prepa.
Okay, and then at 5 p.m. again tomorrow, we're going to have the virtual 8th grade award ceremony. It is a pre-recorded event, but we're going to honor the class of 2021 students who had received the honor roll, principal honor roll, positive attendance, subject matter awards, and biliteracy award.
El día de mañana también será nuestra ceremonia virtual que será previamente grabada, que vamos a estar premiando a nuestros estudiantes que han tenido buenas calificaciones, buena asistencia y también el award de biliteracy.
Okay, and lastly, also in this virtual award ceremony, we're going to announce our salutatorians and valedictorians.
Y también en esta ceremonia vamos a decir quiénes son nuestros estudiantes que han sido los más destacados en la escuela Griffith.
Again, it will be live on our school website. Again, the pre-recorded will go up at 5 p.m.
A las 5 va a estar en vivo y después de eso pueden regresar a la página de la escuela Griffith y hacer clic en el enlace para ver la ceremonia virtual.
Okay. And lastly, before we go to Q&A, on our school website, if you look at the class of 2021 folder here, all the information, how to RSVP, the Garfield High School map. Once this recording has been uploaded, we will also put it in this class of 2021 for you and your family to review.
Si tiene alguna pregunta de todas las actividades que los estudiantes del 8º grado van a estar teniendo, pueden entrar a la página de la escuela Griffith y ahí donde les indica en el cuadro rojo, pueden hacer clic y van a tener toda la oportunidad de ver también videoconferencia si necesitan regresar y si alguna de sus preguntas no se les contestó, pueden regresar a ver y también otra información importante de las togas, fotos y todo lo que es la culminación de los estudiantes.
Thank you. And then I'll stop sharing at this point. And then I know there's a lot of questions coming up, so this is that opportunity and time to do that. Mrs. Izquierdo, I know you were screening the questions. Anything that's popping up, a general one, and then we can go to the specific ones.
Okay, so I tried to answer as much as I could, just answering, responding back to families.
Mm-hmm.
Some are asking Culmination, if they are not able to attend Culmination, will there be a live Zoom or a link to watch it live?
It's not a live one, but we are putting together a program, a Culmination program. It is pre-recorded, but every 8th grade student, their picture, if we took the professional pictures last year, their face will pop up. Their names will come out as well, scrolling as if it's a virtual procession. We do ask some family members, if you know you didn't take that professional picture last semester, or if you're a new enrollee and you didn't take that picture, you can go on the school website and upload a picture that you would like us to put together or add in the virtual culmination. Again, it's not live, but it is a pre-recorded. It will go live at exactly 10 a.m. during the culmination as well, the in-person culmination.
La pregunta es de que si la culminación se va a poder ver en vivo. Vamos a tener una culminación virtual, pero que ha sido pregrabada, y ahí van a poder tener la oportunidad de ver a sus estudiantes.
Zoom on this?
Van a poder ver a sus estudiantes, y va a estar pregrabada y podrán comenzar a verla desde las 10 de la mañana.
Next question, Mrs. Quieto.
For students that are attending school hybrid, will the test they take at the school site be counted for their test result?
Yes, if students are doing their COVID test at school, that test result will cover them for in-person culmination.
La pregunta es de que si los estudiantes están en persona ahorita en la escuela, y si les puede contar el examen que están tomando de COVID, y la respuesta que es que sí les va a contar para poder participar en la culminación, si tomaron ese examen en la escuela Griffith.
When will students know if they're eligible for culmination?
For 470 of our 8th graders, all students have the option to participate in culmination ceremony. They must RSVP though, and that can be found on our school website.
La pregunta es de que cuándo van a saber los estudiantes si van a poder culminar. Y de los 470 estudiantes que tenemos ahorita, todos van a poder participar en la culminación, pero es muy importante que reserven.
Can they take the COVID test prior to June 3rd?
So the guideline says you must have a negative COVID test 7 days before an event. So June 10 is the culmination event. If you go back, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, the 7 days goes to June 3rd. Again, you don't have to take it on June 3rd, but we recommend you take it on June 3rd and a little bit after. Again, no more than June 8th, because it may take 48 hours, sometimes 72 hours for the negative test result to come out.
La pregunta es de que si pueden tomar el examen del COVID antes del 3 de junio, pero pueden tomarlo después, en el día 3 de junio o después del día 3 de junio, para estar dentro de los 7 días que las personas pueden participar en una ceremonia antes del 10 de junio. Entonces pueden tomarlo entre el 3 de junio hasta el 8, 8 or 9, correct, Mr. Estuesta? June, latest 8 or 9?
I would go safely at the 8th, because again, if you go on the 9th, let's say you test on June 9th, which is Wednesday night, and the negative test results doesn't come in, you won't be able, your student won't be able to participate in the ceremony because you don't have a negative COVID test.
Okay. Sí, a más tardar el día 8 de junio, porque si se esperan, puede ser que no puedan tener los resultados a tiempo para poder participar en la ceremonia. Entonces, antes, a no más tardar del 8 de junio.
Another question is, their son received their first vaccination, and they were told by the doctor that if they get tested right now, it might show up positive, and they have to get their second vaccination that day.
Thank you so much. I don't know if it's the same student that asked that question yesterday, but I told them that we'll have an answer for today. So if your child had the vaccination for it, there's 2 tests that we're accepting. The first test is PCR test, and the other one's called an RAT test, so PCR and RAT test. They only test for active COVID infections. Vaccines will not show up positive for those to test.
Entonces, si el estudiante ha tomado su vacuna del COVID, hay dos exámenes. I'm sorry, if you can repeat that.
PCR, yeah, the
El-
PCR,
Ujú.
and then
El
the
PCR,
ACT or AT
el-
test.
RAT, la prueba RAT. And these are the two tests that they take, or?
Yes, so those are the tests that your child will take. They only screen for active COVID infection.
Solamente están viendo para el COVID que está activo.
Right, so they will not test positive even if they
Entonces-
take the vaccination.
Entonces no van a dar los resultados positivos si han tomado la vacuna.
Okay, hold on, because this one computer is gonna die.
I'll answer a few while you're doing that, Ms. Izquierdo. Marina, it
Okay.
says, do we need to print out the COVID-19 test result or is electronic version acceptable? We can take both. I highly suggest that you do for your child to do the daily pass. And if I could just share the screen, because I know there's a lot of questions about how do you do it electronically? Let me just exit out of this. Give me one
Ahorita va a
minute.
estar mostrando el señor cómo pueden agarrar su pase de diario que le llaman el Daily Pass para sus estudiantes. Vamos a aceptar las dos formas, la digital o de papel.
Okay, so I'm on our school website. I'm gonna go to the class of 2021.
You're not sharing your screen, Mr.
Oh, thank you for that, Miss. Okay, so I went on our school website and then I went to the class of 2021 button.
Entonces, si pasan a la página de la escuela Griffith, van al donde dice, can you go back, Mr. Sosa? Really quick?
Sure.
Donde dice clase del 2021. Le hacen clic.
And it has all the information. If you want to RSVP, if you haven't done that, you click here. People who have ordered their gown here. You don't have to click here if you want to order gowns. We're going to have extras for you and your student as long as you RSVP. Again, all these upcoming dates, the map for Garfield, again, the important slides that I mentioned earlier. If you want anything else, you go here. But I want you to go to the Daily Pass COVID test here. So
Pueden
let's,
pasar al Daily Pass, donde hizo clic el señor esta. Okay.
okay. And then let's say you got your negative COVID test, whether it's paper or electronically, you can do a screenshot or take a picture. You will click on parents. And then if you have parent portal, you just type in your email, right from parent portal, log in here and you click sign in and it's gonna take you to, looks like this one. You wanna share that, Myra? Like I said, they just sign in. If parent portal.
Solamente entra en su correo electrónico, su contraseña, y entran a la página y los va a llevar a... Go ahead.
Okay. And then it's gonna look like this. Once you've logged in, I just want the parents to see what they're gonna see.
Y ya cuando entran, se va a ver la siguiente página, van a ver algo como esto.
Okay, it should say your name here.
Debe decir su nombre.
And see where it says submit external non-LAUSD COVID test result.
Y
That's
donde
what you click.
dice, oh, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Y donde dice que pueden entrar, submit, el COVID test que hayan tomado fuera del distrito. Pueden ponerlo ahí donde dice submit external non-LAUSD COVID-19 test.
You click on that and and then see where it says upload. You can upload it for the student, right? You put your student's information here and we can give that information. You click validate. And again, it takes, like I said, 24, maybe 48 hours once you submit. And then once, go ahead and do that, Miss.
Y ya cuando lleguen a esta parte, van a poner en el teclado los datos del estudiante.
And they,
Y donde dice validate, le van a hacer ahí clic y por lo regular toma un tiempo para que el distrito pueda revalidizar, I think I'm saying that correctly,
okay.
los resultados. I apologize.
It's okay. And then what's gonna happen is once you upload either the picture or a paper or the electronic, your child, or because they're 13, they can, with their single sign-on, click on Get Daily Pass. It should say then your child's name because you already uploaded the negative test. And they just keep accepting, click, click, click. And then your child will get this QR code on their phone. And then this is what we scan on June 10 when we're lining them up.
Y ya cuando estén en esa página van a estar siguiendo los siguientes pasos cuando están obteniendo el pase de diario hasta que lleguen a donde está el QR, el código QR, el que les acaba de enseñar el señor. Esto está. Can you go to the QR? So they can see it?
Yeah. So because I generated it, it's going to look like that.
Y se ve como esto. Y eso es lo que van a estar presentando al entrar a la culminación.
Yes, but yes, so your student will get this on their phone. It takes, like I said, 60 seconds, but the important part for the parent is the parent has to upload that negative test. That's why it's important, get it before June 8th, sign in and upload the negative test here so their child can generate the daily pass.
Y por esta razón es muy importante que entreguen estos resultados antes del 8 de junio porque sí toma tiempo.
Okay. Clarissa asks again, but at least somewhere between June 3rd or June 8th is a good time to take the test, was the question.
De nuevo, entre el día 3 de junio y el 8 de junio, a más tardar, es buen tiempo para tomar el examen del COVID.
Okay. A question was that, is the portal the only way to get the QR code? It is one way, but if you don't have a parent portal, like I said, you have time, come on over to Griffith's team or call us on the phone. We will help establish your parent portal account.
Por medio del estudiante pueden obtener este pase, pero si como papá o guardián no tienen ese acceso, pueden pasar a la escuela de Griffith y les pueden orientar de cómo obtener un portal de papás para que ustedes puedan entregar esta información a tiempo.
Okay. One question asked, can anyone pick up tickets or gown, or does it have to be the student or parent? It can either be the student or a parent on the list.
Pueden recoger las togas, todo lo que sea necesario para la culminación, ya sea el estudiante o el papá o guardián del estudiante solamente.
Okay. Will Griffith provide the RAT PCR test? Yes. Griffith will provide, we do the PCR test. That was the question. We do the PCR test. What type of test we do?
Sí, el tipo de examen que hacemos en la escuela del COVID es el PCR.
Okay, Myra, can you translate this for me? Todos los estudiantes que hagan la reservación van a pasar por grupos o va a ser de seguido los más de 400 alumnos.
Can you read it one more time?
Sure. Todos los estudiantes que hagan la reservación van a pasar por grupos o va a ser de seguido los más de 400 alumnos.
If I'm understanding it correctly, it's asking if all the students that are RSVPing, I'm assuming she's trying to say that they'll participate as long as they RSVP.
Yes.
Sí, si la pregunta es de que si todos los estudiantes que van a reservar van a poder participar y la respuesta es sí.
One more in Spanish. ¿Estén vacunados o no tienen que hacerse la prueba?
If they're vaccinated or not, they still have to do their COVID test.
Yes, all students, not yes, but all students must have a negative COVID test taken by June 3rd to at least June 8th.
Sí, todos los estudiantes, aunque estén vacunados, necesitan tomarse la prueba. Tienen que hacer la prueba del COVID entre las fechas del 3 de junio al 8 de junio.
Okay, and then just moving forward, I'm just gonna say the answer instead of the question. So I hope that it gives some information. The gowns and tickets can be picked up on June 8th and 9th from 8:30 to 5 at Griffith.
Los boletos y las togas se pueden recoger en la escuela Griffith al 8 o 9 de junio entre las horas de 8 y, I'm sorry, what time was it again?
From 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
De 8:30 a 5.
Okay. Students have been stressing to get good grades, and yet district is giving students that they don't have good grades the chance to participate in Culmination. How is that possible? So that question I think has to do with students who did not make the academic. CC, pardon me, folks. It's loud. Sorry. So all students, again, our expectation at Griffith is for students to get C's or highers, good attendance, good work habits. Due to the pandemic, we know that families and students have suffered a lot. We know that learning loss happened. We know families have lost family members. And to be quite honest, many students and family members have been traumatized, just struggling through the pandemic. We here at the school site here at Griffith wanted to make sure that for the 8th grade students, success or not academically, we wanted them to have a closing experience if they want to participate before they go to high school. Our message is still the same. We want them to go to college. We want them to have successful careers, and we know grades and doing well in school is the way to get there. This is but a small gift to the class of 2021 who hasn't had a lot of positive things happen because they just stayed at home for the most part. It's one of our gifts to them.
Aunque las expectativas de la escuela Griffith, queremos que todos los estudiantes obtengan C o mejor en sus calificaciones. Sí estamos los estudiantes van a estar participando todos, aunque no hayan obtenido esa C por la cuestión de la pandemia, ¿verdad? Queremos que las familias que han estado, ya sea han perdido algún ser querido o por algunas otras traumas, queremos que este año se finalice para los estudiantes en una manera positiva. Entonces es un regalo pequeño para todos nuestros estudiantes que puedan participar en esta ceremonia.
If parents didn't get the chance to purchase, to order gowns, will there be gowns available for students? As long as you RSVP, we will order extra so that we'll have extra gowns to pick up on June 8th and 9th.
Si aún no han puesto su reservación para la toga, no se preocupen, vamos a tener extras, entonces pueden recogerlas el día 8 o 9 en la escuela Griffith.
Okay. For students that cannot do the parent portal, can they just show up with their negative test if it's within the window on Culmination Day? The answer is yes. It might just take them a little longer to line up because we have to verify paper.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, if the parents can't get parent portal or not get the daily pass, can they bring a negative COVID test on Culmination if it's within the timeline? And the answer is yes.
Si el estudiante o el papá guardián no puede obtener un portal de papás a tiempo, si está bien, pueden traer en papel los resultados negativos de su estudiante. Solamente que a lo mejor va a tomar un poquito más de tiempo al entrar a la escuela de Garfield.
Okay. There's a question. My 15-year-old has a medical condition and the 2 tickets would be for myself and dad, and no one will take care of my sibling. And I have no one to leave this person with. For that person, if you can just email me, we'll see if we can have a plan for you. Like I said, also if the district opens up a little bit, maybe more tickets could be given. So instead of 2 per student, it could be 3. I don't want to speak, but as soon as we get that update, we will let you know again. It will be posted on the school website, Schoology, and you will hear about it as soon as possible. But for that family, just email the admin team and we will work with you around that.
Para esta familia que está haciendo la pregunta de la hermana de 15 años, por favor comuníquese con los administradores y ellos podrán asistirlas.
Okay. There's a question about pictures that were taken last semester and they never received the pictures. Family members, just come on the school campus. Photorama sent us the pictures. You can pick it up during school hours. Again, we're open from 8 to 4.
Para los estudiantes que no recibieron sus fotos de graduación cuando se las tomaron el semestre pasado, pueden venir a la escuela. El estudio de Photorama ya entregó estas fotos y las pueden recoger entre las 8 y 4
Okay.
en la escuela Griffith.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a Spanish question. ¿Es para todos los estudiantes o solo para los estudiantes que recibirán certificado?
Is it for all students or just the students who receive the certificate?
Who
will receive
the culmination is for all students. The ceremony is open to all 8th grade students. They can participate if they want to. They just have to pass the medical screens.
La ceremonia es para todos los estudiantes del 8º grado. Lo único es de que tienen que pasar el examen del COVID.
Okay. There's a question about, will the students be exiting the same place they go in? At this moment, yes.
En este momento, los estudiantes van a estar saliendo de la ceremonia del mismo lugar donde entraron. Entonces va a ser la misma puerta donde los estudiantes entraron, esa va a ser la misma puerta donde van a salir. Por ahorita, así van a estar los estudiantes saliendo de esa misma puerta.
There was a question, when could they retake their graduation pictures? They have to, there's a link on our website, but that's something that they will have to contact Photorama. It's something that they do privately as a family.
Si gustan tomarse o de nuevo la foto, no se la han tomado, hay un enlace en la página de la escuela Griffith que pueden de nuevo tomársela, pero eso ya sería cuestión de la familia de comunicarse con el estudio Photorama.
Okay. What time will guests be allowed to enter? Like I said, we'll open the doors at 9 because we want to make sure that everyone is seated as soon as possible because we need to start at 10.
Las puertas van a abrir a las 9 de la mañana. Queremos que todos estén adentro porque vamos a comenzar inmediatamente a las 10 de la mañana.
Okay. Where is parking located for parents at Garfield High School? There's no parking at Garfield High School. It's just something that's inherent with the school. Parking is very limited, so do your best to park anywhere where you find street parking. But Griffith's team, Magnet Middle School, will open our lower field. It's a few blocks away, more than a few blocks away. Parents can park there, first come, first serve. You just need to walk from our school to Garfield.
Por ahorita, la escuela Garfield no tiene estacionamiento, entonces van a tener que buscar el estacionamiento en la calle. También estamos abriendo el lower field en la escuela Griffith. Si gustan estacionarse allí, lo pueden hacer, pero va a ser el que llegue primero, es el que va a obtener el estacionamiento y ya de allí pueden caminar a la escuela de Garfield.
Okay. I have another Spanish question. También se van a dar los gorros para la graduación y también los estudiantes los pueden decorar.
She's asking if the students will receive a cap and if they can decorate them.
No, it's only gown.
Solamente va a ser la toga, no tienen los gorros, solamente la toga.
Okay. Another Spanish. Los niños que ya tienen la primera vacuna tienen que tomar el examen del COVID.
That was the same question of students that have been vaccinated, if they have to still take the COVID test. La pregunta es si ya tomaron su vacuna, de todos modos tienen que hacerse el examen del COVID. Es para todos, aunque estén vacunados o no.
Okay. There's a question about gown. Can they wear a brother's gown who culminated from Griffith a few years back? The answer is yes. If it still fits you, it's still clean, they can definitely wear their siblings' gown that they use.
Si tienen algún hermano o hermano que se han culminado en la escuela Griffith, pueden usar la misma toga. Si les queda, va a ser el mismo color, royal blue.
Okay. Where can we purchase them? Again, you can just go, as long as you RSVP that you're participating in Culmination, we will have extra gowns on June 8th and 9th. They can come during school hours and purchase it for $20. Again, it's optional, you don't have to, but we do have 271 who have pre-ordered.
Okay. Ahorita es opcional ordenar la toga. La pueden ordenar, ya no la tienen que ordenar por la escuela, por la página de la escuela Griffith. Vamos a ordenar extras, entonces el día 8 y 9 de junio las pueden recoger entonces.
Yes. Another question, will the people who are not able to attend the in-person Culmination be able to see the ceremony online? The answer is no, it's not live stream, but we are also gonna have a pre-recorded virtual Culmination for students who can't attend the in-person.
Sí. De nuevo, la culminación en vivo no se va a poder ver virtualmente, sino que vamos a tener una ceremonia igual, pero pregrabada para las personas que no pueden asistir a la ceremonia de culminación.
Okay. When students take their Culmination picture on stage, where can they pay for that? Again, you will get that price package on June 8th and 9th when you pick up your gown and tickets. And then you can actually order online. You don't have to pay that day, but you can order online through Fotorama, and that information packet will have all that information.
Cuando vayan a la escuela el día 8 y 9 de junio para recoger sus formas, para poder ordenar las fotos, allí van a tener diferentes precios y pueden hacer todo por el internet y hacer su orden y también al mismo tiempo pagar.
Okay. Again, it was asked, will students in the hybrid program be given the COVID test, and will that count? As long as the COVID test is given on June 3rd, and again, we don't really always control that, but I believe your 8th graders are good. As long as it happens after June 3rd, again, before June 8th, hybrid students, 8th graders will be fine.
De nuevo, si los estudiantes están en la escuela entre las fechas del 3 de junio y el 8 a más tardar, y si se les da el examen del COVID entre esas semanas, el estudiante puede usar ese examen para presentarlo al entrar a la ceremonia.
Okay, and it says here in Spanish, ya mande mi reservación, ¿cómo puedo saber que estoy dentro de los 269?
She already submitted her RSVP, and how would she be able to know if she's in?
So for all parents who have RSVP'd, we're gonna post it on our school website also, and we're gonna email you that yes, we have received your RSVP, and you will receive a confirmation that they're in.
Van a recibir un correo electrónico de la escuela para poder avisarles a las familias que han sido confirmadas, que su reservación ha sido confirmada.
Okay. One more, how late are the ELAC and Cal State testing sites open? I believe they're open at least until 4:30, but we can definitely check on the school website to see. But I believe they're open at least until 4:30, Cal State and ELAC.
Las escuelas de Cal State y ELAC para hacerse el examen del COVID parece que están abiertos hasta las 4:30.
Yes.
Hasta las 4:30.
But there's nothing wrong with just calling and checking their websites, of course, if you're not sure.
Pero si no están seguros, pueden hablar a la escuela o también entrar a las páginas de Cal State o de ELAC para ver a qué horas es el último, a qué horas los pueden atender.
Okay. There's a question. ¿Cuándo vamos a saber si mi estudiante alcanzó las normas de promoción y va a culminar?
When will their student know if they were able to meet the Griffith 8th grade culmination expectations?
Yeah. At this point in time, any student, any 8th grader can participate in the culmination ceremony. They just need to RSVP.
Sí, de nuevo, ahorita todos los estudiantes van a poder culminar, participar en la culminación el día 10 de junio.
¿Dónde se va a hacer la prueba del COVID?
Where will the COVID test be taken?
Okay. Where or when?
Where?
Oh,
Where?
oh, again, Gage Middle School, El Sereno, Cal State LA, and ELAC are places they can go.
Okay. De nuevo, se pueden llevar a su estudiante a la escuela del Sereno, de Gage. Si no pueden allí, pueden ir a Cal State LA, ELAC, o también si está el estudiante en la escuela, también se le va a dar ahí el examen si es que es entre la fecha del 3 de junio al 8 de junio.
Okay. They're requesting, is there any change on the 2 guest limit at this point? At this point in time for us right now, it's 2 guests at the moment. But if there's an easing of that, of course, we will increase the number of guests to more than 2. At this point in time, it's only 2.
Por este momento solamente se les va a dar dos boletos solamente para los estudiantes, para las familias. Si es que podemos, se les va a dar otro, pero por ahorita solamente 2.
Okay. My son first got the first vaccine last week, but they will get the second vaccine on June 3rd. Can I just show proof of this? Will they still need to get COVID tested? Yes, vaccine or not, all students, again, this is CDC guidelines that the district is following, not a Griffith thing. Vaccine or not, students will still need to test negative for COVID.
De nuevo, todos los estudiantes, aunque tengan la vacuna o no vacuna, necesitan tomarse el examen del COVID. Vacuna o no vacuna, necesitan tomarse el examen del COVID.
Again, questions again about culmination for families who can't participate in person. Again, there's a virtual culmination. It is pre-recorded and will have the same elements of the culmination. It will go live on, this pre-recording will go live on June 10 at 10 a.m.
De nuevo va a haber una pregrabación de la culminación el mismo día a las 10 de la mañana.
Okay. Are all students going to receive a diploma? All students will receive a certificate of culmination, and they will be picked up after vacation start from June 14 to 18 during school hours.
Todos los estudiantes, van a recibir un certificado de culminación entre las fechas 14 y 15 de junio que se podrá recoger en la escuela Griffith.
For the daily pass, what date should we turn it in? So for if you take the test for your student sometime between June 3rd and 8, again, that's the recommendation. If you take it at an LAUSD site and they tested before, it's gonna load automatically on the student's daily pass.
De nuevo, si el estudiante tomó el examen del COVID va a estar automáticamente, se va a revalidar en el Daily Pass.
Okay. But if you've never been tested with the district and you take that COVID test, you can upload that negative COVID test as soon as possible on the Daily Pass. And again, it was in the link on the website.
De nuevo, pueden entrar, cuando entren al Daily Pass, allí pueden registrar su, el pase, no pase, el COVID test negativo de su estudiante. De nuevo, háganlo lo más pronto posible entre las fechas 3 y 8 de junio.
Okay. If my sister has her gown, but I already ordered mine, can we still cancel it? Absolutely. No one paid for anything just yet.
Si ya ordenaron su toga y se dieron cuenta que algún hermano o hermana tienen una, no se preocupen, todavía no se han pagado, no la tienen que ordenar.
Yes. There was a question, is there going to be an area for people who are handicapped? The answer is yes. And you can also email us, me directly, or the admin team if special accommodations are needed, and we will work with you and Garfield to make sure that you're supported.
Si algún miembro de familia está discapacitado y necesitan alguna acomodación, por favor, pueden comunicarse con los administradores para poder asistirlos con tiempo.
Can
Pero
I
sí va a haber asientos para personas discapacitadas.
Sorry about that. No, sorry about that. Can my child RSVP for me or can I do it? Whether your student RSVPs for you and your family or you do it for your child, as long as one of you does it, we're fine.
Está bien si el alumno hace la reservación, está bien con nosotros. Si ya sea mamá o papá, estudiante, guardián, cualquiera estamos aceptando esa reservación.
A person said, can I have my friend take my money and get my gown if I can't go? Unfortunately, it has to be a member of the family to get it, whether it's the student who's getting the gown and the ticket or the family, the parents, the guardian who's picking up the ticket for the child. You can't get it for a classmate or a friend.
Desafortunadamente, solamente estamos permitiendo que los papás o guardianes o estudiantes recoja los boletos. No se va a permitir que algún amiguito, amiguita, primo recoja o algún otro familiar recoja los boletos.
Are small signs allowed or small balloons allowed or small posters? Again, the answer is no, just because it might, I know it's small, but it might block the view of others. It can be a very sore issue because if we say we let one in, how come you're not letting the other in? Mine is medium, theirs is large and small. And again, we just want to make sure that it's a safe environment. Like I said, we ask that you leave those things in the car.
Por ahorita sí necesitamos que todos los familiares dejen los globos o flores, aunque sean más pequeñas o grandes, medianas, que todo se deje ya sea en el carro o en casa.
Okay.
No se van a permitir ni siquiera anuncios con los nombres del estudiante.
There's a question, is there something specific the students are supposed to wear for their picture? Again, for the culmination, it's just, formal dress, whatever that means for you. It is a culmination, it is a recognition at the end of their middle school experience.
No hay nada así que digamos que tienen que usar específicamente algún tipo de pantalón o camiseta, blusa, pero sí vístanse para la ocasión, es una ocasión especial. Entonces, todos pueden decidir eso, ya sea cada familia, cómo se van a ir vestidos.
Okay, it says, when will you know if additional tickets will be available for families? We don't know yet. Right now, it's 2 per student. Again, as soon as it's updated, because a lot of families are asking, obviously, the district, and if they increase it, then we will let you know immediately. Definitely at least before June 8th and 9th.
Definitivamente les vamos a avisar si vamos a poder darles otro boleto antes del 8 o 9 de junio, pero por ahorita solamente 2 boletos.
Okay, it's in Spanish coming up. Mi pregunta es que puedo hacer si tengo la graduación de mi otro hija a las 9 de la mañana en Hamasaki. Mi hija tiene 4 años y no me da tiempo de regresar a mi casa a dejar a mi hija y mi esposo y yo queremos ir a las 2 graduaciones.
I guess Hamasaki is having their ceremony at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the daughter is participating. There's
Oh,
not enough
no.
time for parents to drop off daughter and then come back for the ceremony at Garfield.
I'm really yikes. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to say this, but we also do have a virtual culmination that's pre-recorded that again is something that all families at Griffith can experience if for whatever reason they can't make the in-person culmination.
Sí, sentimos mucho, ¿verdad? Ese conflicto, pero por ahorita tenemos también la ceremonia virtual que se va a estar pregrabada, entonces pueden entrar a la página de la escuela Griffith para poder tener esa ceremonia y verla.
Okay. ¿Cuándo regresan a clases de nuevo? Ciclo escolar.
When is the beginning of the next school year?
Oh, it's a great question. Let me get back on that. I don't have that at the moment. La ceremonia de mañana a las 5 será para todos los estudiantes o solo los que recibirán certificados?
Tomorrow's award ceremony would be for all students to view or just those that are receiving a certificate, an award.
Oh, it's a virtual pre-recorded ceremony. So if students who were in the honor roll, principal honor roll, positive attendance, biliteracy award, and subject matter awards, if they meet those criteria, their names will be recognized in that pre-recorded virtual award ceremony.
Va a ser una ceremonia pregrabada. Entonces, si el estudiante está recibiendo ya sea altos honores o perfecta asistencia o el certificado de biliteracy, entonces van a poder entrar, va a estar toda la información en la página de la escuela Griffith.
What if my kid can't attend? What about certificate? Can we get it before? The certificates, yearbook, 8th grade shirt, all those things will be ready and available after June 10, which is going to be available for pickup June 14 and 18.
Ahorita van a estar disponibles los certificados, los anuarios y las camisetas que se les va a dar a los estudiantes hasta el día 14 de junio, June
Yes.
14th.
Yeah, June 14 to 18 during school hours, they can pick up the certificate, yearbook, 8th grade class shirt, and all those good things.
Pueden recoger el día 14 al 18, de nuevo los certificados, los anuarios y las camisetas que se les va a dar a todos los estudiantes del 8º grado.
So regardless of grades and attendance, all students are invited to culmination. Yes, all students have the opportunity to participate in culmination.
Sí, todos los estudiantes del 8º grado se les está dando la oportunidad de participar en la ceremonia de culminación este año.
Are graduation leis allowed since flowers and balloons are not? Myra, do you have an answer for that actually? Have we allowed it in
That's
place?
actually the first question. Yeah,
I don't see
this is
why.
an administrative
Yeah,
decision.
I don't see why not because it's the student and the combination. So yeah, lace can be allowed, so that's fine. It's the balloons and the posters that we can't have because it can be a distraction and can cause some audience members to not be able to see.
Sí, la respuesta es si pueden tener los collares de flores, los que usan los estudiantes alrededor del cuello. Entonces sí pueden darles esos collares, leis. I don't know how to translate that.
Yeah, I think it's like necklace of flowers.
Es
Okay.
un collar de flores, muy bonitos.
Okay, sorry, I tried. It says, disculpe, no sé si se envió mi mensaje.
It says, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if my message went through.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm looking at every single one. ¿Cuándo se tiene que pagar la toga?
When do we have to pay for the gown?
Oh, on June 8th and 9th, 2 days, again, those days during school hours, you can pay for the gown then, along and picking up your combination tickets and photo. If you want to pay for professional pictures at graduation or combination, you can pick it up then, June 8th and 9th.
De nuevo pueden pagar por la toga el día 8 y 9 de junio.
Okay. Do parents need a COVID test? No.
Los papás no necesitan la prueba del COVID.
Okay. ¿En qué lugar podemos conseguir la prueba para COVID los que ya vacunamos nuestros hijos?
Where can we get the COVID test for those students that have been vaccinated?
Gage Middle School, El Sereno Middle School, Cal State LA, and ELAC during business hours.
La escuela Gage, El Sereno Middle School, Cal State LA y ELAC pueden llevar a sus estudiantes para la prueba del COVID.
Okay. And I'm sorry, if you want to leave the meeting, I know it's been a long time, feel free to do so. If we're not able to answer your question here, email me directly and I will assist you in that regard. But I will answer all the questions here. And if you have any further questions, at least I will stay to respond to them. It says, ¿Cómo voy a saber que si ordene la bata si no me llegó ninguna confirmación?
How will I know if I ordered the gown if I didn't receive the confirmation?
As long as you do the RSVP, we will have enough gowns when you pick up the gown and combination tickets on June 8th and 9th, but you want an RSVP.
Sí. Aunque si están en duda de que no recibieron una confirmación de que ordenaron su toga, tienen que hacer la reservación. Eso es lo primero, ¿verdad? Y ya el día 8 y 9 de junio pueden recoger la toga y vamos a tener extras, así es que no se preocupen. La pueden recoger para entonces.
Okay. It says, can we pick up gowns after June 23rd if we aren't in LA? Unfortunately, the gowns won't be here after June 8th and 9th. Whatever's not purchased will go back to the gown company.
Desafortunadamente, si las togas no se recogen el día 8 o 9 de junio, se van a tener que regresar, ya no van a estar disponibles. Alguien hizo la pregunta si van a estar disponibles después del 23 de junio, pero solamente esos 2 días.
And then it said, is it okay we screenshot the QR code of the daily pass and show it to scan? Sounds like you've done it before. As long as you do the QR code for that day, June 10, and then share that with your child, then it should be fine.
Si hacen el Daily Pass, pueden imprimirlo, está bien, con el código del QR, pero siempre y cuando sea del día.
And then there's a question, what if we can't pick up those items until after the 23rd? The school does close on June 19th, so that means there's no staff there. What we can do is when school reopens again, but it's going to be when school reopens in the fall, that's when we can, you can pick up those items like the yearbook, the 8th grade shirt and certificate of completion. But June 19th is the last day of school here at Griffith.
Sí, el último día que pueden recoger o cualquier cosa sería el 19 de junio. Ya después de eso, la escuela va a estar cerrada hasta el año que viene, que empieza el nuevo año escolar.
Sorry, actually, it's the 18th. I'm sorry. 18th is the Friday. That's the last day, not the 19th.
Oh, disculpe, el 18. Es viernes 18 que será el último día de que la escuela Griffith va a estar abierta.
Okay. Once the student gets the COVID result, can they take a screenshot of it and post it on the daily pass? Again, it's the same. Yes, as long as it's from that same day. Okay, so just make sure it's that June 10th. Make sure you upload it on the daily pass And then once it clears, then your child can generate the QR code on June 10th.
Sí, de nuevo, si están haciendo un examen fuera de lo que es la escuela Griffith, sigan los pasos que les dio, que les indicó el señor Estoesta hace rato, y siempre y cuando el resultado es negativo y los resultados fueron adquiridos por el distrito, está bien, pueden tomar la foto del QR y presentarla el día de culminación.
Okay. There's a question. My son ordered the gown. How can I make sure the order was made and he will get one? So if for sure you submitted a response, we will have that order because it's a Google form. It locks it. As long as you RSVP as well, because that's really going to matter with the count. We're going to have extra gowns on June 8th and 9th for families to pick up and pay for.
Sí, de nuevo, si no recibieron confirmación de la toga, no se preocupen, vamos a tener extras el día 8 y 9 de junio.
Okay. The pictures that are going to be given on the 8th and 9th, are those the pictures they took at the school? We're not giving any pictures on the 8th and 9th. We're going to give a Photoramas, the company that does these things. They're going to have a price package. Like if you get this package, you get this many pictures for this price. That's what we're going to give on the 8th and the 9th. So that way, if families want to take that combination picture, you can order it online. So we're just going to give the Photoramas price package paper.
El día 8 y 9 no se les va a dar ninguna fotos. Lo que se les va a dar es la forma donde ustedes pueden ordenar basado en el paquete de precio que el estudio de Fororama les está presentando, y ya depende de las familias de cuál paquete desean ordenar.
Okay. And then I'm going to type my email. So that way, if you have any questions at all that I missed, you want to reach me with special circumstances, I typed it on the chat. Let me see. Let me type it in. Here's my email address. Like if there's special accommodations that need to be made, something we need to know about, I'd like to work with you, and I can work with Garfield as well to make sure that you're supported and your family supported. So I dropped it there.
Sí, el señor Estoesta puso en el chat su correo electrónico si es que necesitan mandarle alguna otra pregunta que se presente. Entonces les está informando que se pueden comunicar con él por medio de su correo electrónico.
Okay, so feel free to reach out to me, like I said, and we will work with you and your family. Like I said, if you need special accommodations, we want to make sure that you're supported.
Y también si necesitan algo en especial, igual, por favor, comuníquense con el señor Estoesta y vamos a tratar lo máximo para poder ayudarlos.
Okay. There's a question. If I ordered a class shirt and I need a different size, how can I address this? And then another question, if we can't attend the awards ceremony tomorrow at 5 p.m., will it be available for us to listen to later on? So the first question is, if you ordered a different size, don't worry, we'll have extra gowns for you to pick. And then secondly, the award ceremony is pre-recorded. So it's already something we're finishing up on creating the video, and it will be loaded on our school website at 5 p.m. tomorrow. It's not live, it's pre-recorded.
Sí, si el estudiante que ordenó alguna toga que no fue del medida deseada y quieren alguna otra medida, no se preocupen, el día 8 y 9 solamente díganos qué medida ocupan y allí se les puede hacer el cambio. También para la ceremonia de certificados, de premios, perdón, para mañana la grabación virtual va a ser pregrabada, entonces ustedes la pueden ver cuando desean. Después de las, after what time? After 5?
It's going to be at 5 p.m. That's when we're going to post the link.
Okay, después de las 5. El enlace va a estar en la página de la Escuela Griffith después de las 5.
Okay, and it says, which grading period are the awards being based off? So there's a few types. So the 4.0 It's for the valedictorian and salutatorian. It's based on their 5 semesters here at Griffith. The attendance, it's based on this semester. Perfect attendance is for the whole year, the whole 6, 7, and 8 grade years.
Ok. Para los premios para la ceremonia de mañana van a ser para los estudiantes que han obtenido buenas calificaciones de los 5 semestres para los estudiantes que han sido más destacados. Para la asistencia va a ser de este semestre. Attendance this semester or for all year?
So there's a 96% attendance, which is this semester.
96% de asistencia este semestre y para asistencia perfecta todo el año.
Okay. It's the whole 3 years, the perfect attendance.
Todos los 3 años, perdón.
Yeah, it's a big one. The question is, where can we take the PCR or RAT test? Again, the Gage we do the PCR test, Gage Middle School, El Sereno Middle School, Cal State LA, and ELAC. You can take those tests there.
También pueden tomar el examen del COVID en El Sereno, Gage Middle School, Cal State LA, o ELAC.
Yes, and then the question asks, if they don't take it in those 4 places, can they take it from the doctor's office? Yes, just make sure it's either a PCR or RAT test. Yes.
Sorry. Por favor, asegúrense que si van a tomar el examen del COVID con los doctores de cabecera, que sea el PCR o el RAT examen.
Okay. I think we've answered most of the questions, but if parents at this point want to raise their hands, we can ask to unmute because I think we've covered most of the questions, but feel free to raise your hand now and we can answer them for you. Or we can ask you to unmute yourselves. Okay. Let me see.
Oh, Mr. Acosta, there is a question about students receiving a certificate for not perfect attendance, but who've excelled in the subject areas? In subject areas?
Yes, that's going to be part of the awards ceremony. Is that it will be included.
También van a estar, vamos a estar nominando a los estudiantes que han tenido excelentes, que han sido nominados por sus maestros en su materia.
Okay, and then I think Mario Salcedo, let me see. I'm trying to. Mr. Salcedo, I don't know if you're still here, but would you like to ask your question? Okay. Ms.
Señor
Lowe?
Salcedo, si gusta hacer su pregunta. Oh.
Okay. I'm not sure if he left. Okay, so I'll come back. What time do students need to be at Garfield? So we'll start lining them up at 9 a.m. because we have to do the screening questions, the daily pass, and then stage them. So 9 a.m., but culmination starts at 10 a.m.
Necesitamos que todos los estudiantes lleguen a las 9. Tenemos que alistarlos para que estén listos cuando empiece la ceremonia a las 10 de la mañana.
Okay. The question is, how will students know if they're eligible for the awards ceremony? Because it's pre-recorded, it's something that all Bulldogs are able to see. So family, we invite you to check it out. Maybe even if your child is not there, but if you know they're doing well in school, they have a high GPA, they have really good attendance, I'm pretty sure they're going to be there. Or if you have neighbors, family members who are 8th graders now, check out the video. It's something special for them. It's good to see that we have the Bulldogs that are being recognized in this manner.
De nuevo, como la ceremonia de premios va a ser pregrabada, los invitamos a todos que puedan verla por, de nuevo, la página de la escuela Griffith. Ahí va a estar el enlace y va a ser un día pues especial, especialmente para los estudiantes que ya saben que se les va a dar un premio.
Okay. It says, do my parents need to COVID test? No, just the students.
Solamente los estudiantes necesitan el examen del COVID.
Okay. After Culmination Day, will there be school the next day on Friday? The answer is yes.
Sí, va a haber clases el día siguiente. Si culminaron, como va a ser la culminación de ceremonia el jueves, el día siguiente todavía hay clase.
Okay. I think we've answered all questions. Again, I'm just looking at the bottom. Does anyone want to unmute themselves or raise their hand? Okay, folks. Again, if we were not able to answer all your questions, please reach out to us as staff members. I want to thank you for the counseling team here, the admin team here, some teachers, family, students for staying. I know it's been a long day. I know this is a very important moment, but we really appreciate your time. And we're here to make sure that we can celebrate all your 8th grade students, whether you are in person or virtual.
Padres de familia, estudiantes, muchas gracias por estar aquí en este espacio. Agradecemos mucho su tiempo. Sabemos que ha sido un día un poco largo, pero queremos que este día sea un día de celebrar y de compartir con toda la familia este logro.
Yes, and again, if we didn't answer your questions, call us, email us. We'll do our best to address any concerns you have and make sure that you have a wonderful combination experience.
Y de nuevo, si no pudimos contestarle su pregunta o todavía tiene alguna duda o sabe de alguna pregunta después, por favor, comuníquese con nosotros y vamos a hacer todo lo posible para contestar sus preguntas.
Okay. At this point in time, folks, again, we wish you a wonderful rest of the night. Take care and have a good, happy Thursday.
Les deseamos unas buenas noches y feliz jueves.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Thank you, Ms.
Welcome.
Guerra. Thank you, Dr. Rivera. Thank you, Ms. Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Estoesta. Hi, Mayra. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Thank you.
Team effort. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful combination. So definitely a team effort. So,
Yes.
Dr. Rivera, any questions that you saw? I believe we got through most of them. Like I just went all the way up and down the panel. I think you're muted. Let me see. See, Myra, do you have the ability to make Dr. Rivera co-host or host? Because it put a limit on it.
I don't.
Right?
Yeah, I don't have. It's
Yeah.
not giving me the option.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make him co-host
Yeah.
or
Do you,
host?
can you make him co-host?
Sure.
Because I
He's
was able.
co-host now.
Okay. Dr. Rivera, look, your co-host. Hey, you're welcome. See, I was host, Guerra, and I lost the ability to make someone co-host.
Oh, so now I can jump in. No,
Okay.
Thank you everyone for all the wonderful questions. We know there's a lot of information coming at you, but I want to thank the counselors. I want to thank Mr. Estoesta, not just for putting this meeting together, but for doing all the behind the scenes work. We want to make sure that it's a special ceremony for all 8th graders, right? Don't think about it as just culmination. It's just a ceremony. It's a ceremony that we've been able to make it through this really, really tough year. And we want to send off our students to high school, celebrated and motivated. So with that, thank you, parents. Thank you for your questions. Sorry about the noise in the back. That's my son running around. But we look forward to the ceremony. It's only 3 weeks away. Thank you, team. Thank you, parents. Have a great evening.
Bye, everyone. Thanks again.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.